Shavua Tov, Agut Tavoch. I would like to tell story number 106 of the Shivchei Baal Shem Tov, which is the oldest source of Baal Shem Tov stories ever published. The title of the story is Mashal Mikelev Echat Hanikra B'Shem Britton, which is the parable of a dog whose name, or named Britton. This is a series of stories that the author of the book, Rav Dov Ber of Linitz, hears from his Rav. So he says, I heard again another story from him, from the Rav of his community, Rav Gedali of Linitz. In the days of Rab Leib, the Mochiach of Polnoi, there was a moiser, literally an informer, a traitor to the Jews. Somebody who knowingly is putting the Jews in harm's way with unfair authorities. And this is not only a forbidden act in Jewish law, this is a very serious sin. So there was a moiser in that community, and I think by the story last week was in Chmelnik, so it must be in that's the community they're referring to. And he tormented the people of his town with his Mesira. People of the Jews were always afraid that they were going to be told on to the poets, and they were going to be charged excessive rents or fees, or going to be imprisoned, and they were always afraid. What do they need to do that this moiser will leave them alone? He was basically extorting the community. So he was tormenting them. And that moiser one day fell ill, and one day he died. And the Mochiach requested the people of the Chevra Kadisha, the funeral society, to let him know when was going to be the Levaya, the funeral. He put on his tuzlik, his overcoat, and came along with Rab Meir Milkas of that community. And the people of the town heard that these great Rabbonim are coming to the funeral, so everyone in town, every man and every woman, came along. This greatly pleased the children of the Moiser, because the Mochiach, this great Rav, illustrious rabbi, was coming to the Levaya of their father. So the Mochiach arrived to the cemetery as they were bringing in the body for burial, and the body was placed next to a tent, in Hebrew it's called the Ohel, the tent, in order to be put in the grave. And as is the custom, the Mochiach came forward and began reciting a hesped, a eulogy for the deceased. And the children of the Moiser were very happy. The Mochiach began his speech with a parable, saying, there was once a great lord who had a hunting dog called Britton. As soon as the children of the Moiser heard how this parable opens up, they understood that he was not going to praise him, they was going to scold him. And so they ran to the fortress of the poets to bring the servants of the poets and other men, other evil people, to come and punish the Mochiach and beat him up. Rab Meir Milkes realized what's going on, and he was very afraid. And he pulled the Mochiach by his coat to tell him, the children of the Moiser are going to the poets' fortress. They're going to do their stuff, you know what they'll do. They'll bring people to beat you up. The Mochiach didn't answer, pushed him away 4 cubits, 2 yards away. Stand off. He continued with his speech. The dog was very faithful to his master. He always capture all kinds of prey. Every time his master, as it was the custom of those close to the king, every time his master would go hunting. One day, that dog died, and the Mochiach pointed at the Moiser. And there was great happiness among all the animals. They were now joyous. This dog will not hunt us. But the fox, who was the smartest of them all, told them, oh, fools, why are you so happy? had this dog die before the other's dog learned from him how to hunt, you would be happy. But now the other dogs of the poets, they have learned how to hunt animals, and you will wish this dog would still be alive. The other dogs would go and hunt, but Britton would pull away the animals that they had hunted and bite them and bring them to the animals to the master as if he was the one who hunted them. And so the master would give him all the credit and treat him very nicely, and the other dogs didn't get any payment and any credit for what they did. So they stopped hunting. But now Britton is dead, and the other dogs want to win the grace at the eyes of the master. So they are all going to go hunting. Now we have an added threat of all the other dogs. Why, says the fox, are you happy? The Mochiach says, up to here, the words of the mashal, of the parable. And the meaning is, the dog, Britton the dog, is this Moiser. And he was very important at the eyes of the poets. And he would inform on us, the people, the Jews of the city. And the other dogs, the other Mosrim, they learned from him how to betray us. But the other Mosrim were never recognized at the eyes of the poets, because this Moiser always took from them and told the poets as if it was his thing. He took all the accusations to the poets, and the other ones stopped doing it because they were getting nothing out of it. But now that he's dead, the other Mosrim are going to want to win grace in the eyes of the poets, so they will come and tell on us. As soon as he finished his words, people began to cry. They all realized he was saying the truth. And the Mochiach hit the dead body on the face and turned him upside down. And immediately went back with Rav Meir Milkes into the cart station or parked right outside the cemetery, and they ran away before the people from the Poretz fortress come to beat him up. And on the way, Rav Meir heard that the Mochiach was arguing and the Moiser was replying, and he could not see the Moiser, but he could hear that they are arguing, and the Mochiach showed him that one of the wheels of the cart is not moving. The Moiser was holding it, and the Moiser thanked him for making him go through such a shame publicly, but asked him that from now on, please, don't speak to me in such words. When the Baal Shem Tov heard what happened, he said that indeed there was a dog named Britton that was immediately ready, that when the Moiser would be buried, his soul would reincarnate in that dog. But thanks to the shame that the Moiser was made go at the hesped and at the eulogy, he says, burial, he was redeemed from this punishment. Oh, says the author of the story, right? I forgot the main thing, that when the Mochiach was finishing his hesped, he said, this is the meaning of a pasuk in Koheles, and I praise the dead that are already dead. Meaning that had the other, he died before the other Muslim learned from him, he would be praised for his death. He would be happy he's dead. But because the others are still alive, brings another part of the pasuk, of the verse, that means the other Muslim are still alive. Now we don't have a reason to celebrate. And the Rav of the Kehila, Rav Gedalia of Linitz, who told the story, said that, it's been years since the death of this Moiser, and many evil things have been done by the present generation. And he heard that the Mochiach said that had this Moser be alive today, he would be considered one of the Hasidim compared to the wrongdoings of the present generation. Very musardik, very moralistic approach to the story. I'm translating all the stories of the Baal Shem Tov, telling them every week here in the channel. So please come to my YouTube, like, subscribe, tell your friends. I appreciate all contributions, see down below. And I am translating the book story by story in Spanish with hopes to publish it. So please tell your friends, come over, like it. And Shavua Tov, a gute Woche.